So, you're betting on AI to totally transform your business, and you're not alone. But what if I told you the real secret to success isn't in the code, but in the conference room? Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on why most AI projects actually fail, and more importantly, how you can join that small, elite group that really gets it right.
You know, it is so easy to get hypnotized by the technology, isn't it? I mean, the latest algorithm, the most powerful hardware. But this right here is where most companies completely miss the boat. The real game changer, the secret sauce, it's not the tech. It's mastering the human side of all this change. And that, my friends, is the foundation we're building on today.
Okay, so here's our game plan for cracking this code. First, we're going to pinpoint the real hurdle that trips everybody up. Then, we'll dive into some cautionary tales. Think of it as our what not to do section. After that, we'll flip the script and get into the winning mindset, complete with a practical 4-phase plan you can actually use. And we'll wrap it all up with one final game-changing takeaway. All right, let's get right to the heart of it. Everyone's talking about data, algorithms, and models. But the real thing that makes or breaks any AI transformation, well, it's something a lot more human. It's all about people and process. Let's dig into why.
Think of it like this. You can have the most advanced, tricked-out race car in the entire world. But if your driver has no idea how to handle it on the curves and the pit crew isn't trained, you are not winning any races. That's exactly what's happening with so many AI projects. The tech is incredible, but without the human element, the change management piece, it just ends up sitting in the garage collecting dust.
And here's where it gets really, really powerful. This isn't just about scoring a one-time win. It's about creating a flywheel. Every success makes the next one that much easier. You start making better decisions, you implement things more effectively, you bounce back from setbacks faster, and before you know it, you're not just a little bit ahead of the competition. You're playing in a whole different league.
But you know, to really get what works, we first have to look at what doesn't. So let's take a little walk through the AI project graveyard and check out 3 cautionary tales. These are stories of good intentions that just went completely sideways, and trust me, they are packed with lessons. First up, we have the classic rocket ship startup. They had the cash, they had the ambition, and they lived by that move fast and break things mantra. But when it came to AI, that whole approach just blew up in their faces. They pushed way too hard, way too fast, and their team just burned out. The lesson here? Sometimes to go really fast, you have to start slow.
Next, let's look at the big, by-the-book enterprise. Oh, they had it all. Spreadsheets, flowcharts, a detailed plan for everything. Everything, except the people. They completely forgot about the human side of the equation. And the result? The new system was met with tons of resistance and skepticism. The lesson? A perfect plan is absolutely useless if nobody wants to follow it.
And finally, we have the classic tech trap. This is like buying a super high-end kitchen with all the best appliances, but then never bothering to learn any new recipes. This company bought the best AI software money could buy, thinking it was a magic bullet. But they didn't change their old ways of working one bit. The result? A very expensive, very shiny tool that nobody had a clue what to do with.
Okay, so we've seen the pitfalls. We've seen how things go wrong. Now for the fun part. Let's flip the script and look at what the winners do differently. This is where we shift from problems to solutions and from failure to success.
I mean, look at the difference here. It's night and day. On one side, you have the Big Bang approach. It's all about speed, tech, and just forcing it through. On the other side, you have more of a gardener's approach. You start small, you nurture the change, and you focus on creating a healthy environment for it to grow. One path leads to a spectacular collapse. The other leads to lasting success.
This brings us to our very first core principle, strategic alignment. The golden rule here is simple. No AI for AI's sake. Every single project, every initiative, it has to be a direct answer to a real business problem. If you can't clearly connect it to a goal like boosting revenue or making customers happier, then you shouldn't be doing it, period.
Think of these as the 3 pillars holding up your entire AI strategy. Seriously, strategic alignment gives you your why. Stakeholder engagement gives you your who, and continuous evolution gives you your how. You absolutely need all 3 for the whole structure to be solid. All right, theory's great, but let's get practical. Let's get our hands dirty. This is the actionable blueprint that will take you from a cool idea all the way to real impact. So let's walk through the 4 phases that will guide you to a successful transformation.
Think of this like building a house. You don't just show up and start throwing up walls, right? No. First, you assess the land and you draw up the blueprints. That's phase 1. Then, you lay a really solid foundation with a small pilot project. Once that's secure, you start building out the framework, and finally, you scale it all up into a fully fledged structure. Each phase builds right on top of the last.
And here's a little dose of reality for you. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Just look at this. The first 6 months are dedicated entirely to planning and a small-scale pilot. This part is absolutely crucial. You are building momentum and learning invaluable lessons before you go big. Rushing this process is probably the single biggest mistake you can make.
Okay, I really want you to take this slide in, because if there is one secret to all of this, this is it. It is not about the code, it is about the people. It's about making them part of the solution, understanding what they're afraid of, and celebrating their victories, even the small ones. Change is an emotional journey, and you have to be the guide. The mantra here is simple. Don't do it to them, do it with them.
So we've gone on quite a journey here, right? From the problem to the solution, from the pitfalls to the plan. Now let's boil all of this down to the core truths that are going to guide you from this point forward. This is the absolute essence of everything we've talked about.
If you walk away with only one idea today, please let it be this one. The most brilliant AI in the world is completely useless if people don't embrace it. Technology is the tool, sure, but people are the agents of change. This entire transformation, at its heart, is human-led. So here are your final marching orders. First, remember you're building a new muscle for your organization. You're not just installing software. Second, you have to start small to win big. Third, set up clear rules of the road. That's what we mean by governance, so everybody knows how to play the game. And finally, if you don't measure it, you can't improve it. You have to track your progress.
So, there you have it. You now have the blueprint. You understand the principles that separate the spectacular successes from the frustrating failures in the world of AI. Honestly, this knowledge is your new superpower. The only question left is, what are you going to do with it?